still loading.
I get those goosebumps every time, yeah, 713 through the 281, yeah, I'm riding. Why they on me? I'm flying, sipping low-key. I'm sipping low-key and hiding. I get those goosebumps
Newcastle United.
I'm coming around.
Wembley is a place for
you. Ease on mine, you make everything so fine. Worry about those comments. I'm way too numb, yeah. It's way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time. I need the hype, throw that to the side. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. When you're not around me, throw that to the side. I get those goosebumps every time.
Hello and welcome to Loaded Mag NUFC. Welcome to the reaction show for Newcastle versus Bradford City. And it's a positive reaction. We got to win, boys. We also have we're also going to cover the draw as well. So we're going to cover the draw live. So stick around for that. But let's say hello to the boys first. Chris, how are you? I rudely interrupted you. You're going to tell me a big man story, but everyone will be going to sleep when they've missed the draw if we start going.
Yeah, well, you know me. There's never a dull day, is there? But yeah, essentially, I left work late in Liverpool today because I was on my way to London. So I'm currently in London. Left work late, and then I was on my way to the station, and then I realised because I had two bags, I had one over my shoulder and one like pull case. I realised halfway to the station, where's my pull case? And I realised I'd left it in the office, so I had to walk back to the office, go and get my pull case. Then had a mad rush to the station, got there on time, just about, and then rushed here to London. And then I thought, right, I'm going to go and grab something to eat. And then obviously I'm here for 2 days, so I was thinking I've got to do my ironing. So I'm doing my ironing whilst watching the game and not really seeing the intricacies. So I've seen a few goals. I haven't watched the whole game. I know the lineup, I know the score, but that's relatively about it. So not my finest hour with the match today, but I am looking forward to hearing what you boys think in the main. And obviously, I can comment on a couple of the goals because a couple of them are very nice.
But
yeah,
can we just confirm the ironing is good? That you're okay with the ironing? You got all the ironing.
The ironing's done. The ironing's done. I'm all ready.
Sorry.
Next 2 days, I'm sorted. I'm boxed off. So I am in a good one because I thought I don't want to start ironing at potentially 11:30 tonight because that probably wouldn't be wise considering I'm up about 5:30. So I didn't want to do that. But Pete, how the devil are you, mate?
Yeah, all good. Yeah, enjoyed that tonight. Enjoyed that. Nice performance. Really enjoyed that. Lots of positives to take from that game, and of course we've got a draw to come up. So looking forward to that as well. But Daz, how are you?
All good. I even got borrowed some specs for the occasion, and hey, for our victory. Yes, that's going to
use them all the time now.
Yeah, no, I'm never using them again. They're bad. Yeah, they're not mine. Right, boys, let's get into it. First of all, shout out to Football Prizes as well, because if you haven't got in that draw yet, get in that draw now. The link is in the description of the show. The link is in the chat as well. You'll find it there. Use the code LOADED10. You get 10% off. Actually, I even spotted another Newcastle draw in there as well. So if you want to try the code in there too, I'm sure it might work there too. It's for a Nick Waltermate signed jersey. So have a look at that, as well as this one, of course. But yeah, that's a shout out to Football Prizes. Boys, we're going to rattle through the game because we want to line up with the draw. This was the team news. Of course, Newcastle, defending champions. with making a few changes again 7 changes. Ramsdale came in to start. Botman retained his place. But boys, what did you make of the team?
I was pleasantly surprised. I thought it was a strong team. There was a few in there. Obviously, we did a little prediction, didn't we, boys, on the last show? I think it was the end of top table talk. We had to go at picking our team, and a lot of them we got right. I must be honest. I think the biggest shock for me this evening was seeing Joelinton in the side. I thought Joelinton would be saved for Arsenal, but maybe, well, it turns out it was a good decision based on what happened tonight. But no, I thought it was a really, really strong team. And I thought it showed, and rightly so, by the way, it showed that Eddie Howe was paying a lot of respect to Bradford, and as I say, rightly so, because they've had a fantastic start to the season, which I think we highlighted on the last show, didn't we? I wasn't aware. I think it was one of you boys who highlighted it to me how well Bradford were doing. So I think it's right that we did that. We need to ensure we're at home. We keep the momentum, and we make sure that we go through tonight, which we have done. So yeah, and I was happy with the lineup, mate, and I just hoped that we got into a decent lead and then started making substitutions, and subsequently that's what we did. So all good.
Cool. Pete, your thoughts on the selection?
Yeah, it was what I expected. I mean, the only one that I was surprised to see in the starting lineup was probably Joelinton. Other than that, I wasn't surprised by any of those picks, to be honest. Every player in that team, or close to, needed minutes, so we needed to play them. And exactly what I said on the show the other night. You cannot take a team like Bradford lightly. They're flying at the top of League One. You can't just be like. I saw some people putting teams out with like Kraft at centre back. You're having a laugh, man. You're having a laugh. When we've got 5 centre backs, we're playing Kraft in a cup game. Not a chance. So for me, great to see Botman and Chow in the centre-back pair, and I thought both of them were excellent tonight, albeit lesser opposition. Yeah, no issue for me.
For me, I was disappointed Alex Murphy didn't start, but he came on and got man of the match performance at the end, so that's fair. Happy out. Right, let's get into it. Bradford team is as follows, and you know what, boys, I'm going to run through that first half. I won't stop with the goals. I'll run through the first half, and then we can comment on everything together, or else we run out of time. So, some nice and neat passing from Newcastle early doors. Newcastle with most of the ball, no clear cut chance in the first 10 minutes. Ramsdale called in to make a save or two from a rare chance for Bradford. On 16 minutes, J7 finishes to make it 1-0 after Newcastle passed the way through the Bradford defence. Then 2 minutes later, or a minute and a half later, Osula made it 2. Bruno slices a pass through the heart of the Bradford defence, making it 2-0. Cue the Osula celebrations. W's in the chat, everyone. On 24 minutes, good save from the Bradford keeper from an Osula attempt. Gordon with a shot from distance that was saved. 31 minutes, Osula does well, puts himself in a difficult angle for a shot, but it's saved by the keeper there. Bruno single-handedly making Bradford look foolish with nutmegs and tricks and different level stuff really from Bruno and from the right across the board from the Newcastle side. But halftime 2-0. So I'm going to go to your thoughts on the first half, including the goals, boys. So want to go first?
I'd let Pete go first. Mine will be very brief.
What in terms of the half?
Yeah.
I thought the half was very good. I really liked what I saw from the team. There was a few things that surprised me that I liked to see in the team. But look, individually, I thought there were some good performances. I thought Joelinton, that's the most active and progressive that I've seen in this season. It was really good to see. I thought other than one slight giveaway in that first half, I thought Miley was very, very good. I know fans on social media have been kind of giving him a little bit of stick after that Bournemouth game. I asked the question, can he be more progressive in our review of the game of Bournemouth? I saw that tonight. He was progressive. I would say 90% of his passes were forward passes into attacking areas. Love to see it. That's his quality. That's his skill. That's what we saw when he hit the ground running, when he was thrown into the team 2 years ago. That's this Louis Maidi that I need to see, that progressive centre midfield footballer. Lovely to see. Anthony Gordon and Anthony Elanga, one of the things I noticed, and I said it to the Mags Down South chat during the game, really liked the inward runs from our wingers, something we don't normally see. Rather than staying out wide onto the touchline, making the diagonal runs in through the middle. Really, really good. And for me, that spells one thing. They are learning a new style of play for Nick Voltermader. Exactly what I said when I got the tactics board out on Sunday. You make runs in and behind Nick Voltermader. Exactly what we saw in that game. Absolutely brilliant to see. And a nice way of playing it and a nice way of trying it out against this sort of team. I thought Osula played well. Touch was a bit off, but I thought he played well. Just overall, some really good performances. The centre-back partnership, Botman and Chow, I felt sorry for their striker up front. He must have been thinking, what the hell have I done to deserve this? When he's going for balls and he's got Botman just easing him out of the way. Malik Chow just passing around him like he's nothing. Really, really good. Lovely, lovely to see. And really happy with that first half performance. 2 very, very well taken goals from Joelinton and in particular from Osula. We don't do well normally with one-on-ones. And it was nice to see a one-on-one being dispatched today. And Will Osula, top scorer, 25-26. Who would have thought it, eh?
Good point, actually. Who had that in their scorecard? Chris, your thoughts on the first half? I know it was a bit disjointed for you because you were just getting in.
Yeah. So I saw, Pete mentioned about the nice link-up play and nice bits of play. It did feel different. Obviously, I'm only really commenting, boys, probably on about 10 or 15 minutes of that first half. But I saw little intricacies, little moments of play where I thought, it looked crisp, it looked sharp. And obviously, we'll touch on the second half, which I saw a little bit more of. I have to say, I was really, really impressed with Joelinton's finish, because so often, us boys and also other fans, have been critical of Joelinton, sometimes lashing at it. But tonight, we saw 2 goals where he actually took a moment and just slotted it. And I really, really like to see that. I thought it was really, really good. I didn't see the Will Osula goal, so I'll have to watch that back. I'll be honest, I was literally on the underground as that goal went in. But it was great to see us go in 2-0 at half time, boys. I was pleased with that. Apparently, from what I've heard, it could well have been 3, possibly 4-0 as well. I didn't see everything, but yeah, no, I thought, do you know what? I genuinely, after the conversation we had on the last show, I genuinely thought this could be a bit of a banana skin, and it wouldn't be as easy as what people thought. But from the bits that I've seen tonight, and obviously I'll touch on the second half shortly, I was really impressed with how composed we were and how in control we were as well, which was great to see. Just before I come back to you, Daz, I just want to highlight a couple of super chats that have come in. So I just thought I'll take a moment to do that now. Peter Griffin, thank you very much, Peter. Much appreciated, mate. Peter, I was really happy with that. Peter Griffin got the job done in second gear, sharp for most of the game, but very sloppy at times too. Voltermader's close control and passing is pure silk. Now, I didn't see all of Voltermader's performance, but while we're there, Daz, go to you, mate. What were your thoughts on Voltermader? I know he came on for a cameo. I did see bits and bobs, but not all that. But what were your thoughts when he came on?
Yeah, he had a nice move where he passed to Joelinton, and Joelinton, a nice little kind of we'll talk about in a second, a little kind of back heel flick kind of thing. Went back to Bruno. Bruno should have really finished, but I didn't see an awful lot because he didn't have an awful lot of time. If I imagine if he was on from the start, he would have scored. I think tonight, but I think there's more to come at the weekend from Nick Voltermader. But no, cameo more so than anything else for me.
Mm-hmm. Pete, what about yourself?
Man, I saw so much from Nick Voltermader.
Maybe I was writing down stuff that I missed it.
That's true. You know what? Yeah, he came on. What did he have? Like sort of 20 minutes or something. 20, 30 minutes. But I saw so much from him. Honestly, like I talked about the inward runs from our wingers, and I just, you know what? Up until about 5 or 10 minutes before he came on, we kind of like dropped our attacking intent a little bit. And as soon as he came on, the levels went back up. All of a sudden, we were camped back in their half. The passing and the movement, he was intricate in everything. Him and Bruno keep really building up a connection. Bruno is looking for him. He gets the ball on the edge of the area, and Nick Voltemade is coming short. He's looking for that ball on the edge, and they're playing little intricate passes. His link-up play, something to watch with Harvey Barnes. Maybe that could be the making of Harvey Barnes. There's a couple of really nice link-ups from him. He's coming short. It's not just to one side either. It's not just to the right-hand side where Osula was. By the way, Osula I thought was excellent on the right-hand side when he went to right wing. For me, that's his position. But another conversation. But he was coming short on the right to make those links in between with Miley and Bruno and Trippier. Then he's off onto the left-hand side with the likes of Barnes. Linking up there. I think Tino was on that left-hand side as well. You know, he just constantly making links in between, and you could see he was desperate for a goal. And to be fair, Bruno was trying to give him the ball. Joelinton was trying to give him the ball. Barnes was trying to give him the ball. They were all desperate for him to get on the score sheets. You can see that the team was absolutely playing for Nick Voltemade tonight, and that's what we need to see. We need to see him become the focal point of this team. We play for him, not play for him in terms of him always scoring, but he is the link. He's the link. You had runners in and behind. Great to see Joelinton in that moment when Voltemade was on, making runs in and behind. Partly why he gets on the score sheet again. I'm sure we'll talk about it, but I thought he was good. I really did. I thought he was really good. They struggled to handle him, and it's that intricate football in tight spaces. That's what we've lacked, and that's what he'll bring. He won't bring that big physicality, great in the air. He can score in the air, but he'll bring everything on the ground. I loved watching him. I love watching him coming on tonight. Sorry.
I was going to say they're still playing the ball high to him at times as well, though. So it's just a bit of. We still okay for the draw, Pete? It hasn't started yet.
Numbers are coming. Newcastle on number 14 in the draw.
14. That's right. Number 14.
Number 14. We don't talk about number 14.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Okay. Let me start the second half to see how far we get, boys.
Sorry, one last one just before we go. We have one more super chat. And Pete, I'm going to come to you on this because I know you'll be all over this. Jeannie Esther says, SB4, meaning obviously Sven Bottom, disguised diagonal passes into midfield. Did we see plenty of them tonight, Pete? Did we?
He's brilliant. He's just so good. Oh, the draw is coming out.
Okay. The draw.
Okay.
Sven Bottom, brilliant. Arsenal come out first. Arsenal at home against.
Don't you dare.
Number 2, not us. Brighton at home. Tough for them.
Yeah. Daz, keep flashing that up. That's a good idea. Mate. So when Pete reads the numbers, bang, get it on there. Good idea. I can't see any of the draw. I can't see any.
Neither can I.
Number 7 out next. Grimsby. Oh, I wouldn't mind a bit of a Grimsby.
Oh, I'll take that.
Next number 1. They've got Brentford. They're home to Brentford. Interesting.
Home draw against Liverpool, please.
Number 9, Swansea City. I'll take that.
I'll take that. Yeah.
Swansea.
Snoop Doggy Dog.
Yeah. Oh, number 13, so close. Man City. Swansea. At least that's one or two of the big teams already out, but let's still Liverpool in there typically. 14, Newcastle home draw.
Home draw. Let's have. What are we after, boys? 3,
8. Liverpool.
Come on, Pete. Nice number, please, Pete.
Number 16, Tottenham Hotspur.
Spurs.
Take that. Take them at home. They won't like that draw, Pete. They will not like that draw.
Spurs at home. Big draw, lads.
Yeah.
Keep it going, Pete.
Yeah.
Wrexham at home. Wrexham at home to Wrexham against Cardiff. Oh, Welsh derby.
Welsh derby. Jesus.
That'll be tasty. That'll be tasty.
Yeah, absolutely.
Liverpool at home. Shock.
Yeah, here comes Wickham.
Yeah.
Or Paul. No, I want Paul Bailey.
Crystal Palace.
Palace. Do them again. Palace.
Team.
Go on.
Very good team. Yeah. Okay.
Come on, D, lads. Come on, D.
Number 10, Wolves. Who's still left in? Fulham.
Chelsea there too.
Chelsea. Wolves, Chelsea. Yeah. Wolves, Chelsea.
All Premier League. Premier League.
Yeah.
Yes. This is it now, boys. We get through this. There could be a couple of big ones out. That's for sure. Quite a few big ones, actually. A lot of Premier League ties. Number 12, Wycombe Wanderers at home.
Brighton, probably, is it?
Brighton have come out. They've got Arsenal.
Are they?
Oh, no. Fulham.
Fulham. 6. Okay.
Ooh. Right, that's the end of the draw. So yeah, Arsenal got Brighton. So you've got Arsenal, Brighton, Grimsby, Brentford, Swansea, Man City. Man City always get easy draws away. Newcastle, Tottenham. That's definitely the pick of the draws. That's for sure. That's a heavyweight clash. That Wrexham, Cardiff, Liverpool, Palace, Wolves, Chelsea, and Wycombe, Fulham. There's your draw, people.
That is the draw.
We commencing October the 27th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, boys,
gather yourself, boys. Have a think about it because we're going to run through the second half. Smash the like people as well, and let's run through the second half, and then we'll get your comments in the chat as well, people. Right into that second half. 50 minutes. Gordon with the first shot of that second half. 52 minutes. This is non-stop actually, minute after minute. Ramsdale a save from Bradford header straight at him. 53 minutes. Bruno Close with a flick. Great football by Newcastle. Deserved a goal. 54 minutes. Alanga through. Good save from the keeper. 59 minutes. Wonderful Newcastle move. Keeping the ball. Pinpoint passing. Into with a cross. And J7 header just wide. On the 60 minute then, Eddie made some subs. Trips come on for Kraft come off. Tino come on and Hall come off. 64 minutes. A Gordon cross, Sula header, but he headed in the wrong direction really. But a great chance for Sula on that one. Right, 67 minutes. Gordon shot wide as it was fed into him. 68 minutes. More subs. Nick Volta on Langa off. Barnes on Gordon off. So then Osula moves out on the right, where, as we said, he played even better, but he moved out to the right. 74 minutes. J7 makes it 3. And here is J7 with his goal, and cue the celebration for J7, making it 3-0, I think, at this stage. Bruno run, he picks out J7, who passes it past the keeper, and make it 3-0. 77 minutes, Big Nick to J7, to Bruno, to finish, just saved. But Bruno's shot was saved. 78 minutes, the Newcastle fan, Cook, gets one back to make it 3-1. Miley's pass is intercepted. It was a great finish from Cook, to be honest. He's probably loaded ultra as well, by the way, is Cook. But 83 minutes, Barnes nearly got on the end of a Tino cross, just to control him down there on that one. 83 minutes again, the same minute, Barnes is in again. His usual bending shot was just wide of the post. On 86 minutes, Osula with the fourth to take care of it, to close down the tie. Barnes and Osula combo. Barnes with a lovely ball across, asking to be tapped in. Osula obliged, met it 4-1. Cue the Osula celebration moment of the match coming up next on 88 minutes. Alex Murphy takes the pitch. Botman comes off. 92 minutes. Bruno shot just wide after some great work. Full time. Newcastle 4. Bradford City 1. Newcastle safely through to where they will now play Spurs on October 20, in around that week of October 27th. But boys, let's get your thoughts on that second half or any of the goals there. Who wants to go first?
I will go briefly first. So I saw the Joelinton second, which kind of prompted my first half analysis. Like, again, really calm, composed finish. Really enjoyed that. And then, I didn't see Osula's first, but I saw his second. And a really nice play. I think, again, I could be wrong here, but I think it almost kind of got set up by Nick Valdemar because he played the ball through to Barnes, and then Barnes put it across the box. Very clever ball by Barnes, by the way. And Osula couldn't miss, obviously. But fair play to him for making that run. Fair play. So yeah, nice finish. But yeah, and I also wanted to touch as well on that second half, and I've started something in the chat there. I'll bring it up while I'm talking about it. RF said Miley played really well, one mistake aside, and do you know what? I wanted to get Pete's thoughts on this, and yourself, Daz, obviously. I saw the mistake from Miley, and it was funny because the first thing that came into my head was we were saying not so long ago, in fact last show, you know, we want to see more, passes forward. We want him to be braver. We want him to try and break those lines, and we saw that tonight. And in that particular moment, obviously it's not worked out for him. It was a bit of a mad ball. Even when you watch the replay, like he was far too close to the player. Obviously, gets to the interception and the Geordie lad scored, which was nice for him. Hell of a finish, by the way. Got to give him that.
Well, good
good finish. But yeah, I just hope that doesn't dampen Louis Miley's aspirations, because aside from that, as RF has said, I mean, I didn't see the whole game, RF, but I saw a more positive Louis Miley tonight. Whether he's going to build on that, you would hope so. Whether it's the level of opposition, he's felt more empowered to do so, and he's thought, you know what, I'm going to take more risks. I'm a Premier League player. I'm playing against weaker opposition, so to speak. But you just hope that he takes that into the other games, because he's proved he can do it, and not to dampen his spirit with that one mistake that he's made, and looking at the positives. But that was all I wanted to say on the second half. But yeah, great that we got through, and on to Tottenham.
Before we go to Pete, his thoughts on that second half, I thought Miley did a great game. Like we did have a few things to say about him the last day, but I thought he was class. Mistake. It didn't really matter at the end of the day. I think I was kind of pinpointing back to, I think it was a Josh King mistake for Fulham, the young lad for Fulham as well. But look, it doesn't matter. We carry on. Here's the actually team picture as well, boys. That's just dropped. We haven't seen one of these for a while as well. The only that saw the one at Wolves, but great to see everyone in there as well. Anyone?
Yeah, lovely. Malik Chow in front and centre. Love it. Great stuff.
And it actually was great as well to see when it cut to I think it was right at the start, it cut to Shar and Murphy. There could have been a few more in the stand, like, as well, just kind of cheering out the boys when they're not playing. They're fans like the rest of us. So I'm sure Dan Burner is probably in there somewhere as well, no doubt. But Pete, your thoughts on that second half?
Yeah, good second half. We started a little bit kind of slow, only for the first few minutes, and then we sort of kicked it into gear. We penned them into their half for most of that second half, to be honest with you, and we just went through the gears. There was times where we really put the intensity on them. We're really we're playing them off the park, and then we kind of back a little bit, and then ultimately they come back into the game, and then we step it up again. And it was we just really controlled the narrative for the second half, which was great to see. Touching on that Miley pass, in the grand scheme of things, I'm not bothered by it. I know they scored by it, but in the grand scheme of things, I wasn't bothered by it, because I want to see him play progressive passes. And look, we've had the same conversation for the last 3.5 years with Bruno Guimaraes. 9 times out of 10, he'll make that pass, and it's a great pass, and it opens up an opportunity for us. But there is that one occasion where it doesn't work. But you can't get mad at somebody for wanting to progress the ball. And when you're trying to progress the ball forward in attacking areas, it is a risk. They are risky passes. They are risky. It is risky play. And with that, you have the opportunity of potentially getting the ball cut out and being punished by it. He'll see that one as a learning curve. The only thing I'll say is that, playing that type of ball sort of in your area or on the edge of the area is probably a no-no. He'll learn from that. He's still young. He's still 19 years old. And this is the thing we have to remember. It's okay to say that we want certain things from him and we want to see him develop his game in a certain way, but not hammering him for it, especially in the game when we ended up winning 4-1. It doesn't matter. I look at his whole body of work in that game, and I liked what I saw. I want to see more of that. If he plays like that more often and he can replicate that in the Premier League, then he's a player that will stay at Newcastle United. There's no doubt about it. But we want to see that more often. So, look, forget that pass that they scored from. Doesn't mean anything. I look at the rest of his game and thought he played very, very well tonight. So well played to Louis Miley. That's for sure. I thought Bruno was better in the second half. He protected the ball better. He was more involved in attacking phases of play. That little pass into Joelinton for that second goal. Just lovely stuff. Exactly what I want to see. Bruno in those positions in the box, being able to play those intricate passes. I see him and Voltemeda just really linking up nicely in those little moments in games in the Premier League. So that fills me with confidence. Barnes, I thought, was really trying to score his goal tonight. I'm really glad he got his assist. He should have scored twice before that. As you boys have touched on, he had 2 good chances. He should have scored both. I expect him to score both because that's the standard I have of him. But to get his assist is great. We want our wingers assisting. I really, really wanted Anthony Elanga to score tonight or get an assist. He should have had 2 assists in the first half where he put 2 on a plate and they were both missed. And I was gutted for him because I think sometimes his running and his movement and his opening of space doesn't quite get appreciated. Some of his crossing wasn't great tonight, granted. But I thought his movement and his passing was really good, and I thought he was really opening up the space, and I just wanted him to be rewarded for that. Fair play to Osula, 2 really nice taking goals. You could see the confidence oozing on him when he went out to the right-hand side. He was leaving 1 or 2 players for dead, still creating moments on that right-hand side. Great to see. Hey, if he's confident and he's willing to, really knuckle down and make the difference, if he can come off the bench and do that against Arsenal and games moving forward, hell, we'll take that all day long. For me, he is no longer worth 28 million. He's now worth 35. Frankfurt, you've been warned. You've been warned. With January 2026, you've been warned 35 million, and it will keep going up the more he puts the ball in the net and assists. But
as someone says in the chat, Pete, top goal scorer.
Yeah. Pete said at the start as well.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Goal scorer 2025, 26 already. But yeah, look, good performances all round. The pleasing ones that I took away from tonight is Louis Miley after the stick that he got from some fans on social media, unwarranted, by the way. So he hit back with a really good performance today. Joelinton, it was the most active and effective I've seen him this season. I didn't think he looked fit this season in games. He looks tired. He doesn't look that all energetic midfielder. I saw that tonight, which fills me with confidence because Arsenal come into town. The buddy boy will be back on business. He'll be standing on business come Sunday. He loves playing Arsenal, and we love him playing against Arsenal. Do we love Joe? It's come at the right time for me. And then our centre backs. Great to see that partnership come together. They probably didn't deserve to concede a goal, if I'm being honest. Ramsdale, notable shout out, didn't really do anything wrong. Didn't really have too much to do. But I thought that centre-back pairing deserved a clean sheet tonight. So I was a bit gutted for them. But look, all in all, lovely performance, and nice attacking play, goals to be scored, boost confidence around the squad, all perfect timing to welcome Arsenal to St James's Park on Sunday. Come on.
Bring it on. Actually, as well as that, we'll have away days tomorrow, people. It's up on the channel already. Go check out who our guests are for that one, because I don't have the poster in the system here. But let's forget about all that. Home draw, boys, against Thomas Frank's dusty Spurs. Here they are. Spurs are who we take on next. We can do Spurs, boys, can't we? Even though they're a different proposition now, but they're still just conceding goals. We were watching that game against Brighton at the weekend. Brighton went 2-0 up, and then they pegged them back, of course. But and there's I think someone mentioned as well. Wisa may be back as well, so that's another. The glasses aren't that far away. Don't worry about that.
I forgot about that. That's a cracking shout. We're winning the lot, boys, aren't we? We're winning the lot, aren't we?
Why not? No, do you know what? For me, I forget who said this. Someone came out the other day and said it, didn't they? But I back us at home to anybody. I don't go into a home game against anybody and think, ooh, maybe a few years ago, quite possibly, but we're going to be bang up for it, boys. And do you know what? My first thought was when Pete, read it out earlier. My first thought was Tottenham are going to go, ouch. Didn't want that. We're looking at it from our perspective. Let's think about what Tottenham. Deji will not be happy with that draw. He won't admit it, but he won't be happy with that draw. Or Saba will not. They will not be happy with that draw, because nobody wants to come to St James's Park, particularly so early on in the Carabao Cup, because you've got to say, boys, and I think it's a fair comment to make. People will be looking at our fixture and going, the potential winner of the Carabao Cup could be in that fixture, and it could be. Genuinely think it could be. Obviously, there's still a lot of teams left in it. Don't get me wrong, but if Tottenham go on to beat us, we'd be going, bloody hell, Tottenham have got a fair shout there. And then if Newcastle, continuing to get into those latter stages, we know obviously winning it last year, Real gold badge, all of that. People will be looking, thinking, if we dispose of Tottenham. It's then like if we get a comfortable draw in the following rounds, all of a sudden things that people are going to start going, bloody hell, is this 3 out of 4 years Newcastle are going to Wembley again? Who knows? But no,
if you remember, weren't Spurs in the semi-final, and Liverpool got through against them, obviously to play us in the final. So because Spurs thought that their name was on that trophy as well. They got another one after that, of course. But
Thomas Frank's going to be bang into this competition, because as we all know, boys, the Premier League's very, very hard to win, isn't it? And if you're not in Europe, obviously Tottenham are, but if you're not in Europe, you're looking at the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup and thinking, do you know what? I want to bring some silverware home this season. I think people all of a sudden are going to start looking a little bit more at this trophy and thinking this is a great opportunity. You saw Palace win the FA Cup last season. You saw us win the Carabao Cup last season. People will be going, I want a little bit of that as well. So these competitions are going to start vamping up. They really are.
And Spurs have the same complications as us, if you can call the Champions League a complication, as in like they have to play the same amount of games as us. So we're not at any disadvantage in that sense either. But anything else you want to say about the Spurs game, lads, before we look at a few comments?
Yeah, just looking at the games in between. So I think someone said we've got Fulham and somebody else in between. Is it Fulham and Brentford? Maybe in between. In between that fixture, Tottenham have got Everton away, and then Chelsea at home in between that fixture. So 2 potential tough games there in between that fixture that is likely to be whatever week it's going to be. So interesting. Oh, sorry, we've got Fulham at home and West Ham away in between, which are two awkward fixtures. Obviously, we don't know what type of West Ham we'll be playing against, but yeah. I like that draw. Some people say, "Oh, we want an easier draw." Look, in an ideal world, we'd like an easier draw, but just like what happened last year, I think was it this round or a similar round where we had Chelsea at home around this sort of time, and we beat Chelsea at home after they beat us away. Like you have to beat this team in order to top teams in order to progress in this competition. And if you're knocking good teams out on the way, that's even better. That's even better. Wolfie.
Cheers, Wolfie.
Did it finish 2-2 in the end? I saw that it was 2-2.
Betis.
Betis, yeah.
I didn't even see. Was it? I forgot Forest were on. 2-2. That's not bad. Is it Forest away as well? Forest are away.
Yeah, there was a late Anthony goal. He equalised, I think it was the 85th minute. I didn't know if it finished that way, but yeah, I mean, apparently Elliot Anderson was quality again. It looked like Forest played really well. So look, first time back in the competition, fair play. Fair play. Betis is going to be one of the toughest games in that competition because they're a good side.
Yeah, they are.
So fair play.
Forest up to 7th in the Europa League table.
After that,
yeah, well, that's still half the game still have to play. But yeah,
I think just thinking about the Tottenham game, I'm excited by it. We're at St James's Park. We know what we can do when we're under the lights. Night match, Tuesday or Wednesday. Fans are going to be bang up for it because it's Tottenham. We've got a good record against them at St James's Park. Risa, as you mentioned, Daz, and someone in the chat, that Risa could be back in and around the team, which is a massive positive. Yeah, there's no reason right now, with a few weeks to go, there's no reason to be positive about that game. So yeah, bring it on.
Do you know what, boys? That's 3. Where is it here again? That's 3 home games in a row. Then you have Benfica, Fulham, and Spurs. Not a bad week there for people.
Not all. And Wolfie says there, 2-2, we were fantastic. Should have been 4 or 5-1 up at half time.
Yeah, caught me mad with that, Wolf.
Away from home. Yeah,
and then, as you said earlier, Pete, hardest game by a mile. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
I think Dore was at it as well. Dore and Dave.
Oh, did he go? Did he? Brilliant.
Yeah, it's that picture.
The alliance is back on, Wolfie. The alliance is back on. Until the greatest day of the year. Till the greatest day of the year, then we're enemies.
I like that.
Sunday the 5th. Let's get some comments and questions, Chris, and see where.
Yeah, do you know what, boys? To be fair, I've been obviously keeping an eye on these questions. We've got some belter questions. We really have. So I'll try and fly through them as quick as I can because there is so many. But first of all, and most importantly, you could argue, big massive shout out to Aaron Keith, whose birthday is today. So congratulations, Aaron. Through to the next round, mate. Tottenham at home. Hope you enjoyed that. But thank you for tuning in on your birthday. And I hope you've had a brilliant day, mate. But yeah, thank you for that. Right. And boys, actually, before I get into some of these comments, there's one here, and you might be going to me, or people at home might be going to me, and I'm not digging it out here, Friday, but people at home might be going, why is he talking about that? Why is it? But it was bizarre, and I just want to see if you boys saw it. So last night, in the Carabao Cup, Liverpool versus Southampton, Braden says, did you see Ekitike yesterday? Now, I'll tell you what happened from my point of view. So I'm sat on the couch with our Callum. He's wanting to watch the Everton game. So watching the Everton game, and because Liverpool kicked off 15 minutes later, when it was half time, we'd swap over to the Liverpool game. Anyway, Everton were losing 2-0 to Wolves. 20 minutes to go in the Liverpool game. We had to just bang the Liverpool game on. May as well watch that because use it done, use it out. So watching the Liverpool game, I happened to notice that Hugo Ekitike had been booked. Didn't see it, but seen it been booked. And then he scored. And we were, me and lad Callum were going, typical, they always score near the end.
Yeah.
And then TK takes his shirt off, and we were both like, that's odd. Why's he done that? But I want to ask you boys, first of all, your opinion on it. And second of all, if you've seen it, I want you to tell me what you thought about his reaction, because I thought that was very, very interesting.
I tell you what happened for me is I refused to watch it when Isak's playing. So I just flicked it on and he's off. So I said, I'll watch a bit of it now. And then it scored. And I said, I'll turn it off again. So I didn't see that. So that's where I am with Liverpool.
What about you, Pete? I assume you saw it.
Yeah, I did see it. I was flicking through multiple games. I actually watched the Everton Wolves game for a little bit, to be fair. But yeah, I did see that moment. I didn't see him initially get booked, but I didn't. Like, you, being honest, how it all panned out, I think the shirt taking off was almost to prove a point. I think he was trying to show, not the Liverpool fans, but the manager.
Yeah, look at me.
I'm the guy. I'm the guy. I think that was the taking the shirt off moment. I think genuinely he'd forgotten. And I think when Frimpong went up to him and was basically telling him, you've already been booked, you're going to get sent off.
Didn't look arsed.
Yeah, it wasn't that he... I didn't see it like that. I didn't think that he didn't look harsh. I think he was trying to almost play it down a little bit.
Oh, was it like style it out?
Yeah, I think he was trying to style it out like he wasn't aware, kind of thing. Because I actually genuinely think he forgot. I genuinely think he forgot.
He did.
Yeah, I genuinely think he'd forgotten. I think he was so desperate to prove his point and to score the goal, to score the winning goal was almost kind of like, I'm the guy that won this round. Forget the other guy that scored the first goal. I'm the one that got the winner that got us through to the next round. And it was almost like the shirt off to the crowd was almost proving the point. But I think he'd forgotten about the yellow card. And then the reaction was like, it's almost like, and you know, I've kind of done it before when I've played, and it's like you do something and then you realize, and inside you're like, oh my God, what have I just done? Kind of, but you try to not show it. And obviously he's in front of like 60,000+ fans, and he's trying to not show that he's just been sent off, and he's trying not to react. I think what he's ultimately done, that's put him right on the back burner, because Arne Slot would not be happy with that. In all sense, he's trying to prove himself, but what he's actually done is actually put himself further back. It's like he took 2 steps forward with the goal, and he's almost took 4 steps back with the sending off, because now Isak's going to start. And as we all know, as much as we don't like the guy, we know that when he gets the opportunity, 9 times out of 10, he takes it. And this could be the kind of like the kick in the teeth for Ekitike that he's almost done himself. That he's almost kind of put himself on the back burner for a game. And now that could be the window that Isak takes charge. Because if Isak plays well in, I don't know who they play at the weekend, I don't really care. But if he plays well in their next game and scores a couple of goals, he's the guy and he starts. Yeah. And it's almost like Arne Slot going, well, you had your chance, but you did something stupid. Now this guy's in here doing the business. Now you're going to have to ride the bench. It's almost like it's going to have to be like that. Now, if Isak pulls in a stinker, and we know he can pull in a stinker, we also know that too, it gives him a way back in. Because I think it's only one game, right? It's just the one game.
Yeah, I think it's the game this weekend.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I seen it, lads. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just observing that moment, and I watched it back a few times and saw the reactions. That's kind of what I got from it. But like, maybe you guys saw it differently. I don't know.
Yeah, do you know what? I think for me, just to quickly touch on it, because Daz, I know you said you didn't see it, but for me,
I refuse to talk about them.
Yeah, I don't blame you, mate. I don't blame you, to be fair. But no, to be honest, the devilment in me was coming out, because the way I saw it. So I thought it was almost, to me, it was almost Hugo Ekitike. I think he did know he was on he's been booked, but I think he got overexcited. I think he got overexcited and thought, yes, it's in buzzing. And then I think when Frimpong's come over to him and he's been like, I think he knew, but I think he's almost, I agree with what you're saying, Peter, about him styling it out, but I think he's almost kind of gone a bit like, well, fuck you, Arne, I don't care. As in, I'm the man. And because I've spoken to so many Liverpool fans over the past couple of weeks, and they're all going, Ekitike's not happy about Isak, not happy at all about Isak. And then a few others are going, yeah, but he must have known Isak was coming. And I was like, I don't think he will have done, You think about it. I know the Isak talk was ongoing and stuff like that, but when Ekitike was signed for Liverpool, which was right at the start of the window, there was no way that Liverpool's owners all on a slot were like, by the way, Isak will be coming in a few weeks, just to let you know. There's no way that conversation's happened. And don't forget, at that point, Newcastle were like, not for sale, not going anywhere, blah, 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 blah. And I think at that point as well, I could be wrong, boys, that was before Isak did the whole strike thing and not getting on the plane and blah, blah, blah. And I think, I don't know, do you know what, though? I'm here for it, boys. I'm here for it. I'm loving it. It's their problem. Brilliant. Brilliant.
I think it's fair what you're saying. You could absolutely be spot on with that, and we see how it plays out. I think someone's just put it in the chat. I think who put it in the chat? I saw it further up. I can't remember. Yeah, Terraces. I put it on there. Terraces says, "I don't think Ekitike would last long at Liverpool," and I'm with you. I don't think he will. It's been well documented now. Julien Laurens, friend of the channel, mentioned the other day or last week, I think it was, in the build-up to the Champions League game against Atletico Madrid. He said that he believes if he knew Isak was coming to Liverpool, he wouldn't have signed for Liverpool, and he would be a Newcastle United player right now. This is the thing that we need to remember. Ekitike was happy to join Newcastle United. He wanted to join Newcastle United. If Newcastle had pressed through with a second bid and got that deal done, he would have quite happily joined Newcastle United. That was not in question. But obviously, Liverpool are Liverpool. And he thought he was going to be the main guy and the main striker at Liverpool, which is why he went to Liverpool. He was not under the impression that Isak was signing. The deal was done and agreed on the Friday. And remember, boys, if you remember, Isak on
holidays. I remember.
Well, yeah. Saturday, then kicked off. If you remember, like it was the day after, it was almost already agreed that he was joining Liverpool. So Isak kicked off the next day, and then everything spiraled on beyond that. So he'd already agreed to join Liverpool before the Isak stuff happened. So he was not under the impression that Isak was going to sign. So for me, there's only so long that Isak and Ekitike can coexist. Isak doesn't like playing out on the left. Ekitike doesn't like playing out on the left. This is not like a Cody Gakpo who can do both and can do both well. This is like these guys are both down the middle. And there's only so long that both of them are going to be happy riding the bench. And these guys are both going to want to start every week. They're not going to be happy 1 week playing, midweek on the bench, 1 week play. It ain't going to work. It's not a long-term solution. Genuinely think TK could be an option. I'm going to put it out there now. 2 years down the line, potentially. Johan Wissa moves on. Ekitike comes in. I'm putting it out there now. Might not happen, but if it does,
third or fourth bite of the cherry.
I want this rewound. Okay, I want this rewound. He finally makes it home.
Remember the timestamp, Pete, in 2 years' time. 52 minutes. Right, there you go.
There you go. Sorry, I went down there. Sorry, go on.
I'm talking about Liverpool when Liverpool are dropping points and losing games. That's what I'm talking about, Liverpool.
Exactly.
I'm not alone. There's a few more people in the chat as well on the same page as me on that one. Let's go to a few more, Chris.
Yeah, cool, mate. Right, okay. Let me see. Just popping on what Tennessee said there. I think people must start that. Right, let me see. Where were we? Few interesting ones here, boys. Very, very interesting ones. Now, Dark by Design says Chow looks a real bargain. And I did want to link two up here because somebody else had put it. Yeah, Aaron, again, happy birthday, Aaron. By the way, Botman and Chow playing line-breaking passes. It's time for them to start going forward. Odegaard needs to take place on the bench. Too good to bench either of them. Kind of a bit like what we were speaking about the other night, boys. But tell me your overall feelings on that, centre-back pairing. We haven't seen all that much of it, but we saw a really good chunk of it tonight. What were the overriding feelings? Albeit, I know it was Bradford, but what were your thoughts? Pete, I'll start with you.
Obviously it's Bradford, so we take what we get with that. What I will say is that Bradford centre backs couldn't get near him. I just love the quick, intentional passing of our centre backs. There's not holding on to it for too long. They were fully aware of where they needed to play it and how they needed to play it. They had an understanding of the ball, and this is what it is: progressive passing. So Botman was progressively passing it through the lines with his right, with his left foot. Chow was the same. Really, really simple stuff. It might seem really simple stuff, but actually, it just made us progress further up the pitch. There was just a recovery run from Chow, meaning that anything that came back, he was there to sweep up, and we were back on the attack again. It was a really promising performance from those two. Of course, we need to see it against the higher level opposition, but I liked what I saw. Chow has won a number of headers and it's not really a strength of his game, but Chow won a number of headers in the game today, as he has in the other games. Botman just looks He just looks so good. He just looks flawless in that defense, and he looks like he's slowly getting back to his best. So yeah, I'm really happy with that pairing. Long may it continue. Look, like in reality, Shaw and Byrne are going to come back in, because they are they're just going to. Whether they come back in on Sunday or not is a different question. Obviously, Shaw's out. Byrne coming back in probably. But
do you see Botman playing right centre back, Pete?
Right centre back, no. I think Chow will play right centre back. The only way I think they'll play is if they play back three. Yeah. That's kind of how I see it. But that can't be done in every game. So there's going to come a point where and this is what I said to you boys the other day on Sunday, Howe is going to have to make a decision at some point. He can't keep playing three at the back. There are some games, Arsenal and Union SG, where three at the back can work. But after that, I don't want him playing three at the back against Forest. Don't want to see it. I want to see two at the back. I want to see three in midfield. I want to see three in the front line. That's how I want to see it being played. So at some point, he's going to have to make a decision. And I think, providing that both of those players stay fit, Chow and Botman, don't be surprised by January, February time if they're our centre-back pair. Like, don't be surprised. The guard has to change at some point. Love Byrne. He's been sensational for a year or so, more than that. But at 34 years old, we have to transition the team into the next phase. And Botman is part of our next phase. We have to do it. But as we said, he needs to sign a new contract as priority.
Yeah. That's what we all thought, mate.
Yeah, no, look. I think we're in a healthy position, way better than where we were previously, because we've got two quality pairings or multiple, if you mix and match, to choose from. So I don't see it as a problem at all. It's definitely a bonus, because I know yesterday, it was Tuesday, we were talking yesterday about Botman needing to come in ahead of Byrne, but there's plenty of games for both of them, and especially if we stay in competitions like this one, there's plenty of games for everybody, and even tonight I'm going off the topic here a bit on the question, but like I wasn't expecting Nick Walterman to come on. He came on as well. So everyone got a run out. And I was happy that Sandro didn't, because we didn't need to be bringing him on, and that's the first time he's got a rest, like Bruno the game before against Bournemouth. So happy that this is something that we can, if once there's not one player that gets a total preference over another, I think that's livable. That's workable, and it's managing their time and I'm sure James Bunce is in the ear of Eddie as well. As this is a healthy way to be in as we move forward in all competitions.
Yeah, definitely. On the subject of defence, and so that I'm doing this in order, there's a few that I can pair together, so I'm going to pair these two together. Okay. Toonami Netherlands says Pete is bang on about Kraft as centre back. To be honest, I have come to the conclusion Tino looks far better as a left back than a right back. And also, I want to pair that up with Peter Richardson, who says nobody mentions Hall. He was fantastic on the left in both directions. So, boys, I suppose, and Daz, I'll come to you first on this. So, was it good to see Lewis Hall, get a good run of minutes? I think he got 60 minutes, Lewis Hall, didn't he? Was it good to see him get those 60 minutes? And also, how did Tino play on the right? Because we've been saying this for a while, and obviously Tsunami Netherlands has spoken about it as well. We see very encouraging signs from Tino at left back, and sometimes at right back he doesn't look as comfortable. But what did that look like tonight?
Okay, on Hall first. No, look, he's coming back from a long-term injury, and so it's going to take some time for him to get up to speed. This is his second game back or so, really. He's going to be quality for us all season long. And then for me, I want him as my left back. If everyone's fit, 100% fit, available, my first choice on the left is Lewis Hall. My first choice, just on Tino today, come on and play went to the left again. Does what he does each week. He's class on the left. I think he's class on the right as well. The one thing I will say about him, though, I think I wanted to be a bit more selfish when he gets in that last. Right, coming near the box, because there was a time there today he looked to pass it again, and he had a shot on, but he very rarely takes a shot. He's always so unselfish and plays the ball on. Take a shot. I think he'll get a few goals. I would, in long term, I want him as my right back. But Trips is again the healthy problem we're in, position we're in. Trips is doing the job as well. So again, we can mix and match, and depending on who's on form, who's the most best condition to play the upcoming game. Go with that. Happy days.
No, that's great, Daz. Thank you. Pete, what are your thoughts on the fullback positions? Lewis Hall, Tino Livramento. How did you think they both played? First of all, and second of all, were you agreeing with Tsunami Netherlands when he says, you can understand, we've spoken about it, haven't we? That Tino Livramento does look a little bit more comfortable at left back. Is it a case of persisting with him at right back? Get him fully integrated over that side. But what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I find our fullback situation really, really intriguing. Really intriguing. Because I think we've got three really good fullbacks. So you've got Hall at left back, you've got Tino that can play both, and you've got Trippier at right back. I think we've got a really intriguing situation here because we've got players at fullback that will play certain games because they're well suited to certain games. So when we're playing a possession-based game, Trippier's your guy because he understands the flow of the game and how to play and how to pick up certain positions. But in other games, like for example, was it against Fulham? No, not Fulham. Sorry, against Wolves. Did Tino play right back? No, I think he might have played left back. But there was one game when did Trippier get dropped? Was it just tonight, or was it? Oh, sorry, Bournemouth on Sunday.
Bournemouth, yeah.
So we swapped it around on Sunday, but Trippier didn't play, and I think it was well suited to the fact that he didn't play that game because Trippier isn't great on those small tight pitches because he's not got space to pick up the ball. He's not got space to progress the ball because it's a lot tighter and a lot more in, and you've got a lot more intensity in your press, and it's not the right game for Trippier. But I have to say, look, everyone wants Lewis Hall to be starting at left back because he's a very, very good left back. He adds balance to the team because he's naturally left-footed. He's got a really good delivery on him. Again, tonight, made some really good overlapping runs, cut the ball back nicely. He created a number of opportunities. But I have to be honest, boys, and people might not agree, and it's a little bit of a hot take here. If I'm going into a big game with a very good right winger, I'm going Tino. And it's really weird because Tino has locked down Mo Salah. He's locked down multiple occasions Bukayo Saka. And I've just got a feeling that come Sunday, Lewis Hall's back on the bench again and Tino's playing to stop Saka and Trippier's playing right back. I've just got that feeling. If we go 4 at the back, I think that's the way we go. Because Tino, for all the fact that he's our right wing back for the years to come, he's actually played his best football at left back. And he's played his best football at left back against the best right wingers that the Premier League's had to offer. You throw that into the Champions League as well. I didn't like his attacking performance against Barcelona, but he absolutely kept Rafinha quiet on Thursday against Barcelona. His attributes are just so well suited for a right winger that can cut in on their left. And Salah, Saka, Rafinha all have that knack. And for me, if you're asking me who I'm playing left back on Sunday, people might not like this, but I'm going Tino, because Tino knows how to play against Bukayo Saka, and he's locked him down before. And for me, he'll lock him down again. That's not to say that Lewis Hall can't do that, but
it's just where he is right now, though, isn't it? It's where he is right now. He's not there.
His confidence is sky high. He's absolutely at top level. And I just think, for me, I just think that's what Eddie Howe's going to go for. That for me, that's his go-to. Is it Tino playing left back, Trippier right back, and he's going to be given that task of keeping Bukayo Saka quiet. And that's my issue. This is why it's such a really intriguing situation for me with these fullbacks, is because you want Lewis Hall to play, and 9 times out of 10, when he's fit and firing, he will play. But in the big moments, he's probably going to go Tino, for obvious reasons, as I've just said. So that's kind of where I'm at.
The only one I feel sorry for in this situation is Chris Hall, because it comes to picking the team for away days, the big match preview. He takes it really seriously. So it's tough on Chris.
I do. You know what? I like predicting me formations and me teams. I do like it, but yeah, it's difficult. It is difficult, because I think if we're having this conversation in the new year, I think Lewis Hall's already got left back tied up, slotted, boxed off, sorted. It's purely because of where he is right now. I don't think he is fully up to speed. Again, only seeing him only getting 60 minutes. Whether Eddie Howe's, trying to leave a little hint there, going, he's only going to do 60 minutes because he's going to be playing on the weekend. We don't know. But I agree with both of you actually individually, because I agree with you, Daz. Lewis Hall going forward, I want playing left back, but then I agree with Pete when he says that right at this very moment, Tino is hard not to play at left back.
He's proved it.
He's proved it. Yeah, so it's very difficult, very, very difficult. I think we've got 5 more questions, boys, and I'm pairing 2 of them together, 2 2s, and then a 1. I'll go with the 1 first.
Really quickly, I love this. Claire G, you've won the comment of the night. Comment of the night. Yes. Claire G, comment of the night. Love it. All you, Claire. Love it.
Love this.
Love it.
Great.
Love it.
Great.
Sorry, Chris.
Well done, Claire. No, it was a great comment. Great comment. I'll tell you what, actually, I was going somewhere else, but I'm going to go there now because we've just had that up. There's one maybe a little bit harsh comment, but also a fairly good question. So Dale goes, Osula's found his level. Okay. It could be. Some people will say harsh. Some people will say, it's a reality. I mean, it's probably fair. The bearded Tomb fan says, just a question. Osula from the right. Tell me that's wrong. He runs at defenders. He scores goals. Unlike Murphy and Alanga. Just saying.
We said it last season. On the right is where he plays his best, and those step overs and things that like the defenders don't know what he's going to do, because it looks like at times he doesn't know what he's going to do. So he can be lethal there. So that's where I like to see him playing as well.
Do you think it takes the pressure? I'll come to you on this one, actually, Pete. Do you think this takes the pressure off him a little bit as well? Because it must be quite daunting knowing you're the number 9. I know he's number 18, but the number 9 playing through the middle. The fans expect goals. The fans expect you to, hit the ground running. Whereas when you're right wing, it's just like, just do your best and, try and provide the goals for the striker. Come on, have your cameo. Do you think it does take a little bit of pressure off him playing on that wing because the expectancy is a little bit lower?
Yeah, because if you're up front, if you're not scoring, effectively, you're you're not doing your job, and then you're expected to do other things, and that's what the likes of Nick Waltermaid can do. So if he's not scoring, he's creating, he's linking the plays, creating those moments where goals can be scored by other people. So he has a little bit more to his locker in terms of an overall player. Will Osula doesn't have that. He doesn't have that as a striker. So like when he tries to, in particular in the first half, when he's trying to link it up, like his touch was bad, the ball was bouncing off, defenders were nicking the ball. So he doesn't have that in his locker. And look, that could be coached into a player, but I think with Will Osula's situation, he probably doesn't have time now. I think that bid in the summer has basically made the clock tick a little bit faster in terms of him progressing if he wants to make it in Newcastle United. That's why scoring 2 goals tonight is probably going to help him long term. Because he's putting the ball in the back of the net. It could actually help Newcastle United long term as well, because it's almost like he scored 3 goals already this season, and it's almost like Frankfurt.
Were you boys a little bit like this?
Come back
a little bit like, is that what you were?
Well, he's already on 35 million for me. He's already gone up. Like that 7 million rise is there. Like, and the more that he develops, the more that I'll be asking Frankfurt come the season. And they're good for it, by the way. They're good for it because they've got Ekitike money. Remember, they've got Ekitike
and Marmouche money.
Yeah, there you go. So they've got money right now. Like they can afford an extra 10 mil. Let's not forget that. And look, I'll be watching him very closely. But as long as he's coming on and making a difference, great. But you're right. For me, he's not a striker. His runs, his understanding of the game isn't quite there to be trusting him as a striker. And yeah, that's just kind of how I see it, like as a long-term solution. For me, it's what can we squeeze out of Osula between now and January? I'm gonna die on this hill. Like can we get as much out of him between now and January to ensure that a team come in and bid for him and take the money, and we can then go and invest in the squad, either with a third attacker to come in or go in to get a midfielder and really improve this team. I think this is the opportunity now to invest. That's kind of where I am with Will Osula. But if he plays on the right wing for now, great, but I just don't see him getting ahead of Murphy and Elanga. So he's got competition wherever he goes.
Yeah.
I'll keep it brief, Chris. I know you're up at 5:30. I just say
W's an attacker!
W's in the chat. Bring it on.
Oh, mate. But yeah, no, I agree with you boys, because let's be honest, we know that Newcastle are looking at possibly bringing in that third striker. And I tell you what, that is made far, far easier, isn't it? If you manage to move on Will Osula for 30, 35 plus million. That makes the deal far easier to do, doesn't it? So who knows, boys? Who knows? And if he keeps banging those goals in, Frankfurt will be looking enviously over. So could work out well for us. Right, so we've got 3 more boys. I'm going to pair the 2 of them together again. So we have Frieden. Oh, they're both Frieden. I didn't even notice that. Frieden's so good. He said it twice. I have to say, I disagree with Howe on the team selection. I think resting Bruno and J7 against Bournemouth to play them tonight is completely nuts. It must be better to be stronger. It must be better to be stronger against Bournemouth. He then went on to say, why rest Bruno and Joelinton against Bournemouth in a draw, then give them both 90 minutes against Bradford when we're 3-1, 4-1 up. What are your boys' thoughts on that? I mean, we spoke at the very start, didn't we? Pete, I'll come to you first. We spoke at the very start because we said we were quite surprised to see Joelinton in that starting 11. And I thought, when it got 2-0, possibility come off half time, maybe a little bit longer. As soon as it went 3-0, I'm thinking, time, let's go. And stayed on. What are your thoughts, Pete?
With Bruno Guimaraes, I completely understood why he didn't play against Bournemouth and why he was playing against Bradford. With Bruno Guimaraes, there are certain players that have a certain body type makeup. And Bruno Guimaraes reminds me a little bit of Wayne Rooney. And not in terms of playing style or quality, but I'm saying that type of player has to keep playing football if they're playing at their maximum. Like, Like, for example, back in the day, Wayne Rooney, whether it was England or Man United or whoever, he had to play football all the time if he was to stay at his peak ability. Bruno Guimaraes is the same. Bruno Guimaraes does not do coming off the bench and playing 15, 20 minutes here on a rest day. If he's being rested, he's being rested and he doesn't play at all. That's how Bruno Guimaraes just works. His physicality, his ability, it works. We've seen him come off the bench before and he just doesn't play the same way. It takes him the amount of time that he's got left on the pitch to actually get up to speed. So Bruno Guimaraes needs to keep playing. If he didn't play on Sunday, he had to play tonight if he was going to be at his optimum for Sunday. So I'm glad that Bruno Guimaraes started and I expected him to. Joelinton's a little bit different. I felt like not playing Joelinton was always managing him, because I think Eddie Howe talked about the fact that Joelinton came back earlier from his injury against Liverpool than they expected him to. So I think there was the international break and then he was back. I think they thought he was going to be out for longer, and I think they were almost just looking after him. He played a couple of games and it was like, right, let's look after you. Let's make sure that you don't pick up any other injuries. So they rested him against Bournemouth with a view to play a few minutes. This is what I thought. He'd play a few minutes, come off the bench against Bradford, and then start against Arsenal. When I saw him in the team sheet, I was thinking, like, why maybe has Eddie Howe done that? And looking at Joelinton this season, he hasn't looked fit. He hasn't looked fit. Even with the preseason, he doesn't look at his tip-top shape. And I think Eddie Howe playing him in this game tonight and playing him for as long... I think he didn't come off, did he? He played the full game.
Yeah, played the full game.
I think he's done that because I think he needs minutes in his legs. I think they're giving him the rest at Bournemouth, and it was like, right, you need minutes in your legs now to be ready for Arsenal. And so he can play 2 games in a week. He might not play against Union SG in the Champions League. They may rest him again and then have him ready for Forest. But I think they're getting minutes into his legs in order for him to be ready for that game against Arsenal because of how impactful he can be in that game. And I think they're trying to build him up for that way. And I think that was part of the reason. But Joelinton has had a good start to the season for me. He hasn't played well. He hasn't looked fit. For me, that's the best I've seen him today. Maybe because it's against Bradford, but his movement, his positioning, his use of the ball was the best I've seen him, even including preseason. The best I've seen him play. So it's the best preparation for Arsenal he could have possibly had tonight. So I wasn't convinced of why they started, of why Eddie started Joelinton, but I now get it, and I'm glad that they did it. That's kind of what I know. What about you, Dom?
So am I, since he scored a few goals, and we got to see a few goals. We haven't seen some for a while. Look, I can see where Freuden is coming from, because I was of the same opinion. Well, not maybe not starting them, but with the frustration of the 0-0 draw against Bournemouth, and like was the 3rd draw or something as well, that I would have been bringing on Bruno and Joelinton for the last 10 minutes, because Bruno does. I know I agree with what you're saying, Pete. It does take him a while to get up to speed, but he would just be a menace in the box for Bournemouth for those last few minutes. I just thought we could potentially nick. Now we could have gone the other way and lost it. So maybe it's the right decision. But ultimately, I trust Eddie, the team, James Bunce, that they know their players. They know what they need better than us. Then they also have all the stats and the metrics to judge. Who should be starting when's the best time to bring them back on.
Lads.
I'm sorry, Zaz. I'm sorry I started laughing then, because when you said we trust Eddie and Bunce and stuff like that, and I was going to jump in and go, I'll tell you, we don't trust Congo.
I feel good.
Don't start them off.
But what I will say, lads, what I will say in this conversation about what Friday said about Joelinton and Bruno, doesn't this tell you everything you need to know about Joe Willett? Joe Willett could have done with the minutes tonight.
Mate, it was primed. He was primed for this game.
Nowhere to be seen. And he's gone with Joelinton and Bruno ahead of Joe Willett. For me, tonight tells you everything you need to know about where they see Joe Willock in this team. He is a bit part player. And for me, if you can get the money for him, this is no disrespect to him. It's just I'm not saying that I'm not being disrespectful. Like Miggy, like Longstaff, it's time. It's just time.
It's time.
It's time to move on. Like, that's just the reality. And so for me, this was the big takeaway from tonight is Joe Willock not even being trusted in a game like this against Bradford, not even coming off the bench. It just tells me where we are with Joe Willock in this Newcastle United squad. Not team, squad. It's where we're
with Ramsey to come in as well, Pete, on top of that, when he's back.
Ramsey,
if Ramsey's fit, lads, is Willock keeping and getting in the squad? That's the realistic question we need to be asking ourselves. And this is where we're in right now. And look, and N9 is saying that Willock out, Mainu in. I don't think Amarim will be there long enough for Mainu to go. But if Amarim's still in charge, come January,
go in.
Newcastle United need to be asking that question for Kobe Mainoo, because he would absolutely come to Newcastle United. There's no doubt about it. Now, will Manu deal with us? Different conversation. I'm not even talking about putting a transfer shows yet. I'm not mentally.
We're not over that. We're not over the last one.
I'm not mentally prepared for that yet. So let's move on. Sorry.
No. Before we go down that rabbit hole, we've still got a few months. Still got a few months off, boys. Still got a few months off. I love this question from Dale, and we've saved it to last because I think it's a really, really good question, and it almost teases a little bit for tomorrow night as well, which I enjoy. But Dale asks a really good question. He says, I actually think, though, Arsenal's centre-back pairing is going to be a big problem for Big Nick Energy. We've seen, boys, and Dale highlights this, we've seen in previous years Gabriel and Saliba really struggle against an Isak-type player, running in, getting in behind, running in and making runs. Sorry, you can tell I'm tired. They really struggled with an Isak-type player running in behind, making runs. We're going to see, it looks, boys, like we're going to see Nick Voltemada play against Arsenal at the weekend. You would assume, unless Eddie throws in another spanner, who knows, could end up being Anthony Gordon through the middle, we don't know. But, Daz, I'll come to you first. Does that... We're gonna. It's certainly on the front line. We look different this season, don't we?
Yeah.
Is there any concern for you? I know we've obviously had to deal with Bradford. It's only just finished, but do you think Dale makes a good point, and do you think it's something to keep an eye on this weekend?
It's different. We're still learning. Everyone is still learning Big Nick's qualities as well. I think for me it'd probably be Gordon, Big Nick, and probably Murphy. With Murphy being rested now. Alanga. There's glimpses, but we haven't seen it yet. So I think I'd go with Murphy. And I think Gordon is the danger man for me. That link up maybe with Big Nick. We haven't really seen that yet. We haven't seen that for a full game yet. We've only seen it in patches, in spells. And even then, Barnes is on when Nick Baltimore come on. So I want to see a full game with those three. Let's say as our front three. And look, it is against Arsenal. It's going to be a tough game, but we're at home as well. With the crowd behind us, I'm thinking in this one, so should be interesting.
And a fully fit and five and Sandro Tonali returning as well.
Yes.
So lots to look forward to. But Pete, what are your thoughts on Dale's comments? I think it's a really, really good comment. And I haven't really, obviously I've been focusing on Bradford. We've focused on the weekend at Bournemouth. I haven't even thought about Arsenal at this point. Obviously, away days, and everyone, the away days is coming tomorrow. We will talk about it just before we end the show. But
8 p.m.
8 p.m. What are your thoughts on Dale's comment, Pete?
Yeah, I absolutely think he's spot on. I think it's bang on the money, Dale. I think it's a great comment. Saliba and Gabriel, they like a player that they can see in front of them. A target man, someone they can see in front of them, someone that stays central, is a player that they like to defend against because it's easy to defend. As we said, Isak used to make runs in and behind, used to take them into corners that they didn't want to go. And he stretched their defence, and that's how we exposed them. We're going to have to play a different way if we're going to beat Arsenal on Sunday. What I will say is that our runners in and behind, and I keep saying it, our runners in and behind Nick Voltermader are going to be key, because that could unlock this game. So Nick Voltermader is the target man, is something that Arsenal will be looking forward to playing against, particularly that centre-back pairing. But he's not your traditional target man. He's really good on the ball. He can play in tight spaces, little flicks in and behind before they get a touch on the ball could be the key to unlock this game. If Nick Voltermader is pulling in deep and bringing a Saliba or Gabriel with him, and they're able to turn it round and get in and behind that Gabriel or Saliba ball, and you've got Murphy Alanga or Barnes or Gordon it will be running onto that, that's going to be the key to unlocking this game. I genuinely believe that. So although, yes, it's the type of player they want to be playing up against, he's not your traditional target man, and that's what excites me. Hey, this is the big test. For Big Nick, this is the big test. You know, playing against top teams, can he create moments for our team to exploit Arsenal? This will be the big test here. This is his first real big test from a starting berth anyway, because I believe he'll start on Sunday. So, yeah, it's a great point, Dale. Fair play. It'll be an intriguing watch, put it that way.
And I tell you what, just to finish off on that point, Pete, I think you made an interesting point when you said about Gabriel and Saliba liking players who are right in front of them that they can see. The one thing we've got to think about as well as a fan base and as a panel is Nick Voltermader isn't your usual kind of target man striker. So he could actually pose them even more difficult questions, because they're going to see him in front of them, but he's dropping so deep, and they're going to be going, am I going with him? Am I leaving him? He's going to be collecting the ball in. He's going to be spraying it out to different both left and right. And this is where the wingers come in, as you say, Pete. He's not your Chris Wood type player. He's got an exceptional touch. It's going to stick to him, and he's going to find those little nooks and crannies that other strikers will not find. We've seen in these glimpses all the little touches and the vision, and that. I said a while ago, didn't I? From the clips that I'd seen of Nick Voltermader, I said to my mates, because they were like, is he any good? What's he like? And I was like, do you know what? The player who he most resembles to me is like a modern day Berbatov. I was like, he's not very quick, but his touch is absolutely sublime. And obviously the fact he's 6'6" makes him a little bit special as well. But I've been excited from the bits I've seen, and I just hope an extra week on the training field, it's all going to start clicking into place. And from what you boys are saying, and from what I heard in the chat as well, he's come on and had that little cameo, and there's been nice things, to talk about. Boys, I'm very sorry. There's just one very last quick thing, and it you know what? People on the train thought I was going mental. Right, first half, I'm on the train.
I will believe it.
I'm talking out loud. I don't know if you boys spotted it, but it was an absolute disgrace, by the way. And someone's reminded me of it in the chat. That's why I've saved it. The Clon lad says, I think our set piece coach needs to be sacked. Awful. Did you see? Whoever, if it was the set piece coach, he needs to have serious words with him. Did you see in the first half when, who was it? It was two players. One of them was Emil Kraft, right? And Emil Kraft stood over the ball, and the other, let's say the other player, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Alanga. Let's say it was Alanga. Oh no, it was Trippier. I think it might have been Trippier, right? Near the corner flag, a set piece, so free kick coming into the box, and Emil Kraft done his best impression of trying to use his left foot. And I'm thinking, if I'm the opposition,
Kraft and Gordon, it was
Kraft and Gordon, and I'm thinking, there is no way Emil Kraft's going to hit this with his left foot, because he's not left-footed. And he literally was like this, lining it up. You could see him looking dead serious. And then he ran towards the ball and just hopped over it. And I was like, oh, what a surprise. What a surprise. It was shocking. It was absolutely shocking. Whoever came up with that, it was appalling. Because
I think that cross eluded everyone as well. I think it literally went past everyone at the back post and then just kind of ran out. I'm not sure if it ran out. I think someone might have kept it in, but a poor cross. You know what annoys me about our set pieces, particularly from corners, is nobody, absolutely nobody, makes a front post run. Nobody. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me, because 9 times out of 10, whether it's Gordon, whether it's Hall, whether it's Trippier, 9 times out of 10, that ball goes to the front post. Like, I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. Just somebody, anybody, whether it's Nick Voltemade, whether it's Botman, somebody with decent height, just go and make a run to the front post, because I tell you what, you're probably more likely to score, and you're probably going to notch an extra 4 or 5 goals on your belt in the season just by making that forward run. And even if they don't, just a little flick on brings the next phase into play. It just needs to happen. I don't get why we all clamber at the back post, and it's just a big lumped ball to the back post. And 9 times out of 10, it's a free kick for a foul, or there's a header back towards goal, and nobody's there apart from the opposition that just clear the ball out of play. There just doesn't seem to be. And I'm going into last season, by the way, with this, because this was last season as well. There just doesn't seem to be any sort of organisation in terms of what we need to do from set pieces. Like, we just should be better. Like, I don't get it. We've got how many players that are 6 foot plus? How are we not dominating in boxes with set pieces? It doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know. Same time, this new guy isn't too long in the job either. But yeah, you imagine we should soon start to see some kind of results. We haven't seen that yet. Will we see this though, lads? Let's hope we see that again this season. Boys, we're going to bring the show to a close. Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you smash that like button on the way out. We're back for the big match preview tomorrow at 8 p.m. Pete, tell us about that. I don't know the picture, but tell us about what we're doing.
Yes, of course. With Arsenal coming to town, there's only one way that we can do that, is if we get the 12th man's Dan Potts on for a big match preview. But he's not coming alone. We've also It never does. That's right. We've also got Arsenal Fan TV. Lee Judges coming to join us. That sneaky little bastard is coming to talk all things Arsenal with us tomorrow night. So be there, 8 p.m. On the button. We will be ready to talk all things Newcastle United against Arsenal. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's always a good chat with those Arsenal boys. And to preview the big game. So let's wait and see. I think they're going to come with confidence. It's going to be an interesting chat. Very different to the last match preview, put it that way. But let's see, boys. Can't wait. Should be a good laugh.
Right, that's it. Time to run this one again. Got rid of all the rats. Good night, everyone. Have a good one.
Each and every single day, I know I'm going to have to eventually give you away. I'm like a bird, I'll only fly away. I don't know where my soul is. I don't know where my home is. I'm like a bird, I'll only fly away. I don't know where my soul is. I don't know where my home is. I'm like a bird, I'll only fly away. I don't know where my soul is. I don't know where my home is.